Please introduce yourself.
Senior Lieutenant Aslayev Timur Gashevich.
Your date of birth.
May 6, 1998.
Your title and position.
Senior Lieutenant, Platoon Commander.
Senior Lieutenant, Platoon Commanders. When did you enter Ukraine for the first time?
February 24.
February 24. Which direction were you in?
Chernihiv region.
Turn around, please. What is written? See, it's posted here.
Chernigov.
Chernihiv. People watched the first video. They liked it and asked us to bring you here. We will go to the locality where you were. Remember what we said? Let's see where you lived, in what house. In fact, it will probably be interesting. Are there any feelings or emotions?
I don't know yet.
What is your first feeling? Here is Chernihiv, which you stormed. You were in the Chernihiv region for a month. Everyone in Ukraine knows this church. This is symbol of the city. It is the entrance. See, yeah? Now let's go to the village where you were. What village are you in for a month?
Shevchenko.
Shevchenko. Thank you. So how?
Beautiful.
Beautiful. Let's go for a walk then. It will be more interesting there. Did you have a dream to visit Chernihiv, or was there an order to take it?
There was an order.
How do you like this view, Comrade Senior Lieutenant?
Beautiful view.
Beautiful view, beautiful park from both the right and left. Yes? Have you seen on TV what Mariupol has become? Other cities?
So?
There two people live normally. You're an army of marauding murderers who came to liberate people who live peacefully. Have you ever seen such guns in your life?
No, I haven't seen.
Haven't you seen it? They were the ones who once defended the city, and now you have been bombed with modern weapons. Are there any emotions, or don't you care?
Not clear.
Not clear. Well, then let's go to where you've been for a month. Let's try to find people who saw you. You say that you would not be ashamed of yourself and your unit. Did they say that?
Yes.
Well, let's see what they say about your behavior. Have something to say?
No.
Is your army fighting well? Look to the right and left. A clean, beautiful, well-groomed park. Are there any in your city?
There are parks
There
in
are
the city.
parks in the city. So why are you going to destroy other people's cities and parks? Yes. Timur, who is this?
Shevchenko, the writer.
Yes. What is his name?
Don't know.
Taras Grigorovich Shevchenko. Writer. Yes, this is our writer. Name 5 Buryat writers. Do you know?
No.
This is what we talk about in the interview, that your culture is being destroyed. And remember our conversation about how Buryatia was annexed and how it was presented to you in history, remember?
I remember.
I recommended that when you return, if you are exchanged, you read what actually happened. Find out the truth. This is what a peaceful park looks like in a warring country, to which such liberators came. Timur, we have arrived. Do you recognize it?
Yes.
What kind of settlements is this?
Shevchenko.
Shevchenko? From what date and until what date were you here?
From February 24 From the moment the troops entered until April
By
1st.
the 1st of April. What happened on April 1st?
We left the territory of Ukraine.
Have you left the territory of Ukraine? We now they will carry out investigative actions with you, as you already understood. We were allowed to attend. We want... Perhaps if we met the civilians who were here, you simply said in the interview that you would not be ashamed of you and your unit. Let's talk. Fine?
Yes.
I press pause. What house have you been living in all this time?
Over there.
There,
Further.
further. Let's come here to the people in the first house. Come closer. Have you been in this house?
I came in
Came
here.
in.
But not to the house, but
Didn't you
to
go to the
territory.
house?
No, I didn't go into the
And
house.
then when were the phones taken away?
No, it wasn't me. Maybe others.
Didn't you conduct the search?
Search?
Weren't you wandering around the house?
I didn't go into the house, I went into the territory.
And the one that were with you, did you come in? Then a whole crowd of you came.
No, the two of us came in.
What date was this?
Somewhere in early March, on the 2nd, it seems.
In
Or
March?
1st. March 1st.
The first time you came together was on the second day you entered the village. Not on the second, on the first.
Not on the 2nd,
On the first one.
first.
Were you there on the first day too?
On the first day,
Here,
yes.
It was on March 2nd. Have you been sitting here?
No,
So where? Where? There?
I don't...
With a machine gun.
No, I didn't see it. I went straight in through the gate. You must have met me. I don't remember. There was a man, probably you.
Of course I am. And then there were 5. When the grandsons was searched, were the phones
No,
taken
it
away?
wasn't us.
Were this your people?
No.
Who else? There were no others here. Nobody came for their replacement. Just as you walked in, you just stood there.
But it wasn't
I
my
don't know
unit.
what happened here. We didn't go anywhere. We were told not to leave the yard. Our grandson told us that some tall Azer grader was fighting here, running around with a machine gun. I took a dog and hugged it because you held it at a gunpoint.
No, this was not my unit.
It's clear. No, of course not you. My God. How old are you?
24.
Yes. What were you thinking about when you came here? You with machine guns. We didn't touch anyone or anything. Who were you looking for? What did you want to find here? Specifically in this house.
It was necessary to see how many people live and who.
And? Why did you need it? There were no soldiers there. Pensioners live here.
It was necessary to have information for yourself and idea.
It's clear. You weren't the only one. We had already been searched before. They entered the house 5 times and searched it. They climbed through the cabinets.
Perhaps, yes, someone came in after me, but I didn't go to your house.
What were they looking for? Who knows? They say that they were looking for terrorists. Banderites. I don't know who were they looking for in the closet. We couldn't be in the closet. They looked for Banderites at the chest of drawers with underpants. Terrorists. What can you find in these lockers?
No, I didn't go to your house.
No, of course, you can say whatever you want.
You were all in the basement at that moment. Not all of them, of course. There were
So
children
we
there.
were always in the basement. We lived in the basement for more than a month.
I only saw you on the street then, when I was with my subordinate. I talked...
And you still didn't come?
No.
Who came then? Who came then? How many of you were here? They searched our house 5 times. They were looking for someone. What house did you live in?
There.
Is it next door? Across the road here?
Across the road over there, after 100 meters.
Whose house is this? It's clear. Dacha. Yes, there was no one there. They took everything from there. How many units were there? You say that only your company was here.
My company was there. There were tankers. The 74th Brigade came, the Motor Brigade came.
Who gave you permission to search people?
Nobody.
Nobody. Nobody with machine guns. Were the machine guns allowed? Well, yes, with machine guns. I was sitting under a plum tree holding the dog. They stood like that, taking aim. I say, don't shoot. The dog was tied up and I was nearby. What will we do for you if you have a machine gun? It's clear. Do you have something to say? Have you fought enough?
Yes.
Yes? And? He came in 3 times. Here? 3 times to Ukraine. To Ukraine? Yes, once wounded twice. Don't understand anything. Not enough for you? 3 times is not enough for you, right? You came to free us, right? You once shouted, we have come to free you. I say, from what? Who are you freeing me from? From Bandera. I say, I don't need to protect it. Nobody invited you here. From Bandera, nobody called you. Kyiv is already ours, Odessa is ours, Kharkov is ours, Zelensky has already escaped. Zelensky ran away. It is all yours. Did you capture it? Released? Damn idiots. It doesn't come to mind. Damn liberators. So, what are you thinking now? What? What do you have to say in your defense? They came and searched my school-going grandson and took away his phones. Why a phone? Did it bother you too?
I didn't pick up the phone.
Didn't you pick it up? Didn't do anything, yeah? If you were a commander, then these were your orders. I don't know, but no one came. And always machine guns.
I came to you only on the first day together with my subordinate, that's all. And I didn't even go into the house, that's all. Maybe someone came to see you after us.
Who is someone? Here all your people were on the farm. All your soldiers were here. They came into house 5 times. They searched, they turned everything upside down.
But there were different units passing by.
See? Different. All yours. It wasn't Bandera's people who came in. And Nazis like you came in. Then the cars arrived. We were sitting there in the basement, and nearby there were 3 cars with ammunition. They're shooting from the road there. They don't care, they are hiding behind our backs. Don't you want to say anything? No? What have we done to you? Tell me. Will you go to Ukraine for the 4th time? Will you come here again? Because of money.
I think not.
Do you think not? What have we done to you to make you come? What? You visited us and saw that we are peaceful people. We lived in peace before your invasion. Nobody asked you for release. Free yourself. There in Russia. So that you can say at least a word. Free from Putin, first of all. You need free yourself from it. They are slaves. They will not free themselves. Well, yes. So here he stands. If they tell him to go a 4th time, then he'll go a 4th time, right? Those who didn't want to, even in prison all this time. What is your rank?
Senior lieutenant.
Do you have higher
No.
education? What a nightmare. Whoa, a nightmare. Okay, let's move on. Terrorist! What did you eat here? You took everything. You're the real terrorist. They took all the potatoes. They took canned food. The pigs were shot. They leave in the morning and arrive in the evening with a full car. There are refrigerators, mattresses, beds, washing machines. No? Wasn't there such a thing? Didn't you carry it?
Not my unit.
Did you shot pigs? How this not yours?
My unit didn't fire.
Isn't yours? That's what I saw in this house. I can't see further because we didn't go out anywhere. They told us to sit and no go out anywhere. Don't leave the yard. In a month and a half, I only went once. I went out of the gate just once. You constantly came to us and checked. My God. What was his name?
Evgeny.
What school he did graduate from?
Far Eastern.
He speak truth. Introduce yourself. You lived here during the occupation. Akudenko Vladimir Mikhailovich. Who else came here in armored vehicles?
These were special troops.
Special, right? Well, these troops lived here later, right?
Well, it turns out they lived here too.
What kind of troops were there actually? If you lived here from March to... What date did you live here?
In general, when did we leave Shevchenkove?
Yes.
March 13 or 31.
30th. 30th, yes. On 30. A platoon in 3 armored personnel carriers came here from the village of Polubotki. You had 4 tanks here. 2 remained and 2 went with you.
2 left with us, 2 are our tanks.
Yes, you left here after noon.
In the evening.
The first one started leaving around 4.
Something like this.
Well, did the Secret Service agents live here? Special troops, as you say.
Yes, and there.
Who lived here?
Some civilian men lived here.
What kind of men? He came to see you. He came to see you all the time.
Well, we went to see him.
Take a step forward. Did you go to see him?
Yes.
And what did he say? What can you say about him?
He lived here. He's been living in Ukraine for about 10 years. Actually, he's from Russia. He came here, got married, or... In short, his girlfriend is from Ukraine, or it is his wife. He stayed here. That's how he lives.
He's telling the truth. There was a case. You just told me that you were evicted from your home. Not completely evicted. The house was just hit twice by a shell. One shot from this combat vehicle. A window was broken and a wall was damaged. The second shot was also from this combat vehicle. The wall in the bathroom was completely knocked out. The house was no longer suitable. And since I had a month-old child, we went to a neighbor who lives opposite. And a tank crew drove there. Captain...
I don't remember the name.
Platoon commander. Not a senior lieutenant, but a captain. As he said, he was born in 1975, graduated from Novosibirsk College. As company commander said, he was expelled from his school later. His wife is a colonel. In Russia, the service, it's like our penitentiary service, but they call it something else. And he has a wife, it seems. There is a colonel. And he is generally a lover of alcohol. He was kicked out of the college and then from somewhere else. He had a year left before his official retirement. He signed a contract and moved here. In short, they were drinking there, and it turns out that the driver in my house shot this captain. Yes? Timur told us this then. Only he said that it was senior lieutenant. I looked several times. They also had... They made him a hero. Yes, if you click on the link, losses of the 35th Brigade, this captain will be there. And it says there that they organized the crossing, burned 2 or 3 of our combat vehicles and killed 80 Ukrainian soldiers. Then something hit the tank, he pulled out the soldiers and died. So this is all a lie, yes or not? He lay in my house for 4 days. Then I washed his brains off the floor for another 2 days. Then they loaded him onto a conveyor, right?
Well, I didn't see how it was loaded or anything.
I don't remember you for some reason. Here the foreman who drove the truck was probably a Buryat by nationality. Was he? Well,
Buryat?
maybe they're not Buryats, but Tuvans.
Maybe, don't know.
Don't you know who the foreman is here, who brought you all the food? Who was the foreman in your company?
The company sergeant major was here with me.
He's on the truck all the time.
No, we didn't have a truck.
How did they bring you food? How did they bring you bread?
On armored personal carriers.
But they already started delivering them around mid-March. And before that, even fuel trucks came to refuel you, yes or no? On the first day, there were 3 fuel tankers, their fuel tanks and armored
Fuel
personnel
trucks
carriers.
arrived.
Yes, then there was 1 fuel truck. Then they took us out on a truck. Then they carried fuel in red barriers and armored personnel carriers.
Yes, there
was
were
it like
barrels.
that? This is in the ground. What is it? This is a mortar, and in it, what is it called? Such an order is given. There is a pipe from the mortar and the stove. What is called? You studied.
Yes, yes, a slab is placed and the trunk is placed on it.
So you fire it directly from the village?
Well,
Yes.
it was the mortar men who fired
Yes,
it.
to the mortar battery, straight from the village, so that if there was no answer, it would go straight to the village.
And they shot
The
here.
answer was yes, they got there. Well, that comes later. They've been here for 2 weeks. During the day, they fire it, as I understand it, according to the coordinates given to them by the gunner who was with the assault brigade. And somewhere from 11 to 2 at night, right? Or until 1, they just shoot at Chernigov. They were killing the city. How did they behave here? Because he was in the interviews all the time. You watched it. He said that they behaved decently. They only took a little food and warm clothes because it was cold. This is true? Yes. No marauders? Well, they took everything that could be taken here, even lawn mowers. But it was the mortar battery that took away these gasoline movers. What else? The cars were taken, 2 cars were taken from the last house on the right side. They also took the car from a former auto fighter. They drove zeros on the cars, or what is an O?
Circles.
Circles are drawn, looks like zeros. It was a who rode them around the village on motor scooters. Did you kill pigs? Well, I don't know who keeps pigs there. Oh, there is a farm there. There are pigs. What did they do with them? Ate. And they had no rations, nothing. They came for 3 days. After 3 days, their batteries died. They wanted to take the generator from me, but it just burned out on the 25th. And I showed it to them and measured the winding, but they took 35 liters of gasoline from me, because they didn't even have anything to recharge the radio. Yes or no?
But you had tankers.
No, the tankers took it, but the Bison people took it. From this, you had a communications platoon here or something like that. Where was your Seagull
There,
station?
further, where the battalion commander was located. Signalman.
Signalman, Seagull stood, yes or no?
Command and staff vehicle.
Command and staff vehicle, well, armored personnel carrier. Don't you remember me? Actually, I had a beard. I walk here every day and ask your company commander to let me out of here, because I had a 1-month-old grandson.
You have a daughter and a child.
Yes, 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 and they reported here, they say that a lawyer was visiting, and then someone in a relationship who has a child of the same age went and apologized to my daughter every day. He even cried because he also had a child. He said that they were not guilty. He said that they wouldn't let us out of here because we were a human shield here. He said that if they let us over here, the village would simply be bombed. It's true?
Yes.
Like this.
Did you live opposite your neighbor?
Yes, yes. Where you got your
Yes,
water?
it's the opposite.
Oh, did you take it
Yes.
from this? They also took water from us here because he has the best water. Maybe you have some other interesting memories about these liberators. Well, I remember this, you know, it was this company that was here that did nothing wrong to me and my family. I was bad when the FSB came here, and then one of the neighbors said that I was a former military man, that my son and son-in-law are in the active army, that my daughter-in-law is in the military. They tried there to make me call. They took the phone and the guys changed the numbers and blocked it. Here they once put me on an armored personnel carrier, put it back over my head and took me away. I asked where. They answered, "We will shoot you." Perhaps, of course, they were joking wrong. They brought me, then told me to jump off. They asked me a question, then I jumped off and they told me to go. You're lucky today. That's it. Personally, also that they communicated with this Russian. I passed by here once and apparently they came out. They asked for cigarettes. I said I don't smoke. And they started taking about Bandera. We started talking. I say, where do we get Bandera's people here? Why did you come here? And this neighbor came out and told the soldiers, don't listen to this Hitler propaganda. I saw that no soldier would hit or shoot me. I didn't talk to the soldiers here anymore and didn't try to talk to them. As far as I know, they had all the soldiers who signed the contract. That's what I understood from a conversation. They have hazing. I have not seen such hazing since the days of the Soviet Army. I started serving in the Soviet Army in 1982. But even in the regular army, I didn't have such a hazing. What did they have? And those who signed the contract while in the army, are they young or what? But here they dug holes, kept watch and carried water and food. That's what they said, because
each department has its own rules.
I don't speak for him, only for those who came to collect water all the time and were on duty at night and everything else. At first they had patrols here, and then while they were talking on the phone, a mine arrived, yes?
Of course, it came from a mortar.
Because of the phone.
I don't know anything about this.
Why was the battalion commander taken prisoner, and then there were a rumor that he was beaten to death with sticks on Red Square?
First time I hear it.
Your commander was captured.
Our commander didn't get captured.
Tank battalion?
Yes.
Yes. Those tanks that came from Chernigov, along this road. And then someone started rumor that this commander, they were crucified on Red Square. We have it in Chernigov, Red Square, if you are local. Someone even supposedly sent a video there. This captain was running around half drunk on it and shouting, who was killed? Yes, who was killed? Hero? Yes, the hero. It turns out that this is a lie. The captain was changed. Timur, do you have something to say? Shall we go further?
I'm sorry about all.
What can I say? I told this lieutenant colonel, I asked him, you know, do you know what your grandfather's name is? You know both your first and patronymic names, yes? Where is he buried?
Yes.
But some people don't know at all. And I have everyone buried there, starting with my great-grandfather. Everyone is buried there. It is my land. Why did you come here? We will not give up our land. We will stand up for it. And I will teach my grandson, who has been here for months, and he will tell this to his grandsons, that Russians and Buryats are all enemies.
Moreover, I used to communicate in Russian because I graduated from school and my father was a military man, but they only knew how to write in Ukrainian. And now my family has fundamentally transferred into the Ukrainian language. Also, it turns out with the errors, I basically don't want to even speak the same language with you. Can you speak Buryat or not? I understand, but...
Tell the truth.
I understand, but...
This is how you love your nation.
I don't speak Buryat.
Say sorry in Buryat. In front of the person you terrorized for a month. He does not know the Buryat language. Here, anyone who doesn't know their language has no respect. You don't even respect your family. I communicated with Buryats in 1990. I came to Ulan-Ude. You had a factory there that repaired military equipment. We donated our equipment there, and there were Buryats. The senior master was Buryat. They had their own work life, and everything was very good. And even then they spoke Buryat. It was the middle of spring, late 80s. And for this, and 30 years later, Russia raised slaves out of you. Who did you come here to die for? And for Putin? Tell me. For Putin? Who came up with the fairy tale that there are nationalities here, that there are children sitting here, that someone is being bombed here. Here you are, and what? Or as this captain said, you thought that you would be greeted with flowers here in Chernihiv. You took your uniform. What else? Well, as he said, the column stopped, they ordered to pull out the Soviet flag before the arrival, and you were fired at somewhere in the Ivanovka area for the first time. It was the first night. Yes. Was there such a thing? There was. Well, your captain told this when he was drunk.
I don't know about the fact that they took the uniform.
Well, that's what he said. Maybe he was the only one who took this form. To you, I think that you will be exchanged, but you still can defeat us. I'm telling you that if you pass here a second time, of course we will all die, but we will take several dozen of you with us to Buddha, Allah, or Jesus, because this is our land, and we have something to die for. And we can speak Ukrainian here, we can speak Buryat here, we can speak Russian here, because no one here is forcing us to do this, you know? But we all respect our grandfathers and great-grandfathers, and about the 1930s, about the Volodymyr. Who did this? Immigrants from the Russia Federation. I don't want to. I have only emotions. Everything went well, of course, that's how it turned out. Of course, I'm 58 years old, but only a fool is not afraid to die. But I had one child here who was months old and another who was 10 years old. And the youngest child still shudders when he hears sounds. We sat in the basement with them for a whole month. We spent a whole month in the cellar where it was 3-4 degrees. It is still good that the company commander, because his daughter was born on March 1st, yes or no? He treated my grandson well. He allowed me to take milk and they passed me bread. Even one they brought some kind of semolina and condensed milk here. Also, he is Tatar by nationality, right? Half. Half. Because the Russians are not capable of this. Thank you. My pleasure. How do you feel about this hike? Are they changing? They change. Which way? To the way in a bad way. Bad? What's bad? Ashamed? Or what are your feelings?
Mixed.
Mixed.
Altogether.
So joys can be mixed.
No.
No joy. Write down your feelings. You know the words. So one more inclusion. We need to clarify details. You say there was a Dagestani here.
There was a serviceman who, as I understand it, as he said, was called up from Dagestan. But he was an Avar by nationality. He had 5 people in his family, 4 older sisters, and he is the last, 5th. He served in the 35th Brigade in Aleisk, as he said. Aleisk? And after 6 months of service, he signed a contract. He said that during these 6 months of service, he fired a machine gun once, right? Am I right? And they fired from a mortar only before being sent either to Belarus or the Bryansk region, they shot once. And then once they shot somewhere here, already before the attack. And when we asked them why they came here, he did not hide the fact that he came to earn money for his car. The most interesting thing is that it turned out to be the coolest car they had in the village. It was Lada. And there he counted his money, and approximately, if you translate, how much does it turn out to be? I don't remember, maybe he earned $3,000. And if it was different, he named a different year of manufacturer. And frankly speaking, we sell such cars for scrap metal. And he came to earn money for a car. He said that the money is being credited. He said that if you give them some kind of daily allowance for fighting, there will be a bunch of additional payments, plus financial support, as I understand it. And he already, from February 24th to the end of March, he already earned money on this car. Dream come true. Yes, it came true. He will already arrive in Dagestan in a new car. Or maybe he's already arrived. Because I again read on the internet that where the cotton was burning in Chernobyevka, and where they took the pontoon crossing in the Lugansk region. They were there 3 times, where they burned an entire battalion tactical group. It was the 35th Brigade. Yes or no? When you captured a river there and made a crossing in one place, was that your brigade there? Yes. So I think that this Dagestani is somewhere out there feeding our Ukrainian crayfish and nurturing the black soil, because they left their people there so soullessly. No one there was sorry. Well, I think that this is the 35th Brigade, what they wrote on the internet. Yes. Have you been there? No. How many battalion tactical groups were there in your brigade? 2. 2 groups. So, this car was almost run over, right? It was the car they were using. They used to come for water, they were just lazy, they drove right next to the fence, they left it that way. The second army in the world has no drinking water. They have nothing at all. An army of homeless people and poor people. Yes, thank you. My pleasure. This is the kind of experiment we did. Law enforcement officers carried out investigative actions with the senior lieutenant with the Buryat, who was in this village. They were based here. He said one thing in the interview, but as you can see, the local resident said something completely different. So, I apologize for the sound, because the trip was announced late in the evening and I didn't have time to go to Vladimir to pick up the microphone. Everything was recorded as always for full quality. No professional cameras or anything like that, but it was very interesting, I really felt. Touched me. The way the locals told it, the story of the woman and man who were at the very beginning, he asked them for forgiveness, not on camera. What else is interesting? This is all terrible. The senior lieutenant broke down. It is clear from him that here is no morality.
Investigative actions were on the topic of the looting and theft. This is carried out by law enforcement officers. All prisoners of war who have any questions or comments undergo this. So, write a comment. Did you like this video or not? Glory to Ukraine! Subscribe, share the video, like it.